Got it. Yes.
Hello, and welcome to the first ever Entrepreneur Talk series hosted by School of Commerce, Finance and Accountancy, Christ University. I'm Dr. Anusha Iyer, and with me is my colleague, Dr. Rejoice Thomas. Our speaker today is a multi-passionate entrepreneur whose contributions to the business world and society at large has touched many lives. He's the managing director of AVA Group, popularly known as the makers of Medimix, the world's largest selling Ayurvedic soap. He's a master of many hats and is a multifaceted personality. He's a theater artist, musician, film producer, philanthropist, and above all, a successful entrepreneur. Here to discuss and learn how to make most of our lives by following our true passions, please welcome Dr. A.V. Anoop. Sir, it's indeed a great pleasure to have you with us today. And as we begin, we request you to first tell us a bit more about your life's incredible journey.
Thank you, Prof. I'm extremely happy to be part of this Entrepreneur Talk discussion series organized by the Commerce Department of Christ University, Bangalore. In fact, I remember I attended another session during this lockdown period addressing the students of commerce, I think. I'm thankful to Professor Rishikesh for inviting me again. And I'm delighted to know that most of the management people are also witnessing this program along with students and also public. It is indeed a proud moment. And today, Chennai, these local elections are happening. So office is also a holiday today. So I'm talking to you from my house. Yes, the topic given to me is actually Medimix 50 years of handmade tape. I would like to correct it as handmade Ayurvedic soap tape. Yes, we have completed 50 years. In fact, this is 53 years this year. We celebrated our 1 year long this 50-year achievement just before COVID lockdown. And we celebrated it actually differently, very, very differently. As you all know, being a handmade soap, our labor involvement are more. So our factories are at different locations, in fact, not in a centralized place. So we have factories in Chennai, Viluppuram, Pondicherry, and multiple units in the same city also. Chennai, we have 2 units. Bangalore, of course. So Bangalore also, we have a factory in Doddaballapur, which is also slightly away from the city. But all these areas, all villages we selected to set up our factories. We appointed only the localites, local village people, very poor people, economically weaker, no education. So such people only we selected. And see, after looking back, after so many years, most of these workers are with us for many years, 25 years, 30 years, they are with us. When we look back, they are all well placed now. Their children are all educated well. In fact, my Bangalore factory, one laborer, one lady worker's daughter, the worker cannot even sign her signature. She don't know. She's illiterate. Her daughter, last year, she passed MBBS with merits, high marks, and she got government medical college admission this year also on merit. So that's the way we develop, but I support children also. Why I'm saying is that since you are asking me to talk about 50 years of our soap's tale, I thought of starting it from how we celebrated. So what I did, I met personally all my senior workers in respective factories and told them to find out what we need to do for that particular village, because that village only supported us. The people only supported us to come to this level. So I gave this freedom to all my workers to decide what to do in return for their support to for the growth of Medimix during this last 50 years. So whatever they asked, we gave. So they asked for, say, for example, some support to the local schools or constructing a water tank or some community hall, things like that, which we immediately accepted and then provided in all the factory areas. And another thing, I thought of grooming up my next generation. I have two daughters. Both of them are married and well placed. But you have to keep in mind that for a businessman, the first two generations will know the struggle what the founder faced. But after that, they will fail to understand the initial struggles of our founder, how difficult it was to launch a product and how difficult it was to make people accept it. So I asked my both daughters to take the responsibility of celebrating this 50 years function. So it was their job to talk to all the senior people of our family, people who are 85 years or 90 years, who have personally witnessed how our founder was Dr. V.P. Siddhar. I'll come to his story later. So just to begin, I'm saying, so my daughters talked to all the senior family members. Then all the senior people, the friends and doctors who supported Dr. Siddhar during that time, whoever alive, they personally went and met, talked to them, understood the struggle. Then they identified the first worker of our organization who is still alive, and our marketing person or the auditor or the first person who helped Dr. Siddhar to coin the word Medimix, the first person who designed our wrapper design. So that way they went behind and then identified all these people, invited them to our function. We honored them. We supported. We in fact gave them rewards. And like that, our existing team members also, all our vendors, distributors, the staff and workers who are with us for more than 25 years, we honored all of them. That such a different way only we organized our 50th anniversary. Now I'll come to the story of Medimix. Dr. V.P. Siddhar is the founder of Medimix. He came to Chennai for his medical studies. He joined Kilpak Medical College. That was an integrated course. In fact, those days in Tamil Nadu and Kerala, there were integrated course. The course had both allopathy and Ayurvedic subjects. So after passing out, they were allowed to practice or choose any of these allopathy or Ayurveda to practice. But Dr. Siddhar, after completing his education, he decided to take up allopathy to practice, but his passion was towards Ayurveda. Our family is called Cholail. Cholail family is famous for Ayurvedic practitioners for more than 300 years in Kerala, 300 to 400 years. Most of our ancestors were Ayurvedic practitioners. But Dr. Siddhar's father was an allopathic doctor in Kerala, government service. So for his livelihood, maybe, he decided to join Indian Railways as a doctor. So during his practice in the clinic and hospital, he noticed that many of these workers, we call them kalasis in railway, they had skin diseases. So he thought of a medicinal oil that was used by his ancestors in the family. That oil was called Vipradi. It contains 18 herbs. So he talked to his senior members, his uncles and other seniors in the family, those who were practicing Ayurveda those days, consulted them, and with their advice, he prepared this oil in his kitchen and then gave to his patients. And that worked like a magic. Most of them got cured, the skin disease. Then other doctors, his colleagues, were very curious to know what he is giving. So he explained to them. Then they advised him to find a easy way to give this to the patients, because while working, applying oil and all was difficult. So again, he consulted his senior members in the family and decided to make a soap out of this oil. So with using this medicinal oil, he prepared the first soap in his kitchen with the help of his wife. In fact, his wife, Saubhagyam Siddhar, also involved throughout his journey to make the product a success. Because since Dr. Siddhar was working in railways, morning 7 o'clock, he goes to the hospital and come back only in the evening. So at that time, the business was managed by his wife, Saubhagyam Siddhar. So this was the beginning. Then other colleagues wanted to prescribe this product. So they advised him to place this product in any of the chemist shop near the railway hospital. So with their help, they identified a medical shop. I still remember the name of the medical shop. It's called Parvati Medicals in Perambur, Chennai. So he approached him, they agreed, that he placed the soap there. That was the beginning of this successful soap brand's story. So first 1 dozen soap was kept in that medical shop. So his friends started prescribing. Then the news spread. Most of the doctors in Tamil Nadu started prescribing this product, and Medimix was available in all the chemist shops in Tamil Nadu. So for a long time, Medimix was known as a prescription product, just like any other medicine. Medimix was considered as a drug. So it was for skin curement. It was a curing product for a long time. Then later, because Dr. Siddhan didn't have any business experience, either him or any of our family members. Most of them were government servants or doctors or Ayurvedic practitioners. So he was the first person to start a business but without any experience, without any business plans, without any future plans. He didn't have any dream also. His idea was only to help patients. He never thought that he can make it as a big industry. So that was the beginning. Then slowly the news spread, and he decided to employ one worker. So in 1969, officially he launched the product and invited one worker from Kerala to join him, one office staff, one typist. So that was the beginning in 1969. Then slowly business improved. Entire 70s, after this medical shop success, slowly he entered the retail market. The fame started reaching every nook and corner. And during 1975, one Tamil movie directed by Dr. Bishop Balachandar, K. Balachandar, Apurva Ragangal, that's the name of the movie, 75 or 76. That was the movie in which Rajinikanth was introduced and Kamala Hassan was the hero. But one more hero was there in that product. There was a soap brand in that movie. Throughout, those who have seen that movie will remember that. The heroine of the film was a sales girl selling a soap. So somehow Mr. Balachandar decided to use Medimix as that product. He didn't know Dr. Siddhan, he didn't know anyone in our family, but just like that, he decided to use Medimix as that brand. So that movie became a super hit. So everybody noticed our brand. In fact, just before his death, K. Balachandar, in fact, in a function, he openly announced that he introduced two superstars in his film Apurva Ragangal. So that's the way that movie helped us to grow. Then he slowly expanded. He set up a factory in Perambur, Chennai. He brought some workers from Kerala, about 40 people he brought. He started. But unfortunately, as everybody said, when Kerala workers came here, there was a labor issue. They formed a union, and he was forced to close down all his activities due to pressure. He was not able to withstand the pressure given by the workers, and continuous disturbances were there. And in fact, his life was also under threat. So for some time, he closed the factory and left Chennai. He came to Kerala. Now I talk about my background. I am his sister's son. My father was a government servant. He was a fisheries director later. So it was a transferable job. I was born in Trichy, Kerala. But due to the frequent transfers of my father, I was forced to move to various towns, different schools. So my school education was actually not proper. I joined a government LPU school in Trichy. Then I was moved to a convent, St. Joseph's Convent. After that, fifth standard, he got transferred to Calicut, Kozhikode. So there it was, since he was in fisheries department, the office was near sea area. It was a fisherman area. So his house was also near to that colony. So there were no other schools. So he put me in a LP school, government LP school, where most of the children were fisherman community people. So those, my classmates, morning and evening, they used to go to sell fish and come back. And sometimes they failed to take bath also. So that was the total atmosphere in the class. And that affected my career in that period, at least 2 years. because their language was different, the way they behave, everything was different. So that started influencing me for some time. So my father was upset, mother was upset. So, but all because of the background. Then luckily, my father again got a transfer to Ernakulam. So we moved to Ernakulam. But when I reached Ernakulam and joined another school, no, it was so difficult for me to, again, language, like in any other state, each district, the language differs. So what you speak in the Trichu is different in Calicut. From Calicut, when you go to Ernakulam, it's totally different, the slang and the words used. So that also, I had some issues. Then later, he got a transfer to Trivandrum. There, he put me into one of the best schools in Kerala that time, again, a St. Joseph's school. Most of the ranks were from that school. So there was a standard difference when I joined the 7th standard in St. Joseph's School, Trivandrum. All other students were of high caliber, high quality. So it was, for some time, it was very difficult for me to cope up with other classmates. So I didn't have any other extracurricular activities also. I was very timid and just an average student during that period. Then, but since I was tall and well built, this NCC team always wanted me to join NCC. But I was not very happy. So when the NCC officer come to the classroom, I just try to sit under the table and then avoid their. But somehow they caught me. Then they forcefully put me into NCC. But slowly I developed interest, and then I became the captain of NCC. So then I started commanding. Maybe when I look back now, I understand that helped me to manage an industry and various activities today, because I learned the art of command. So that really helped me, I think. Then my father was very strict. He was a very good, clear government officer, no corruption. But he believed that most of these business people are not good characters. See, he always used to advise me, never think of business and never move with the children of business people. He always advised me that you aim to become another government servant. Try to get a government job or a bank. So I was also mentally prepared to become a government servant. That's all. That was my aim. So I took commerce as my elective subject, and then I joined. So, but again, unfortunately, when I was in the second year of college, my father passed away due to a sudden cardiac arrest. So it was a big shock to the family, and everything went upside down. So next day only I realized that absolutely no money in the bank or in house to manage the family. My elder sister was married, but my younger sister was studying pre-degree at that time. So the responsibility of completing the education, my education and my sister's education, her marriage, everything, it was in my shoulders. And my mother was very young. She was only 42 years. My father died at the age of 53 while he was in service. But I was eligible to get a government job under dying in harness scheme, which was my dream also, my father's dream also. So of course, but after my education, then I moved the papers. While processing these papers, I realized what is red tapeism, what is bureaucracy, and what are all the problems you face when in government service or government departments. Really, it was a big struggle for me. And nothing was sanctioned. The initial, it took more than a year to get the benefits. And he had a LIC also, 30,000 rupees. Actually, LIC money was there. That also, it was delayed. And a lot of issues I faced. And as a policy now, I don't take LIC, because that was the experience I had. Because you won't believe. Nowadays, nobody will believe. Because I received a letter from LIC after 6 months. After 6 months, you keep in mind, asking my mother, who was only 42 years at that time, to get a witness certificate from 3 people who attended the funeral of my father, and they should not be our relatives, only outsiders to give a witness. That was, it was very difficult to digest. As a 18, 19-year-old boy, that gave me, my blood was heated, and then I went to their office and shouted, and I said, I don't require your money. But they immediately sanctioned the money. So that is another story. So government offices also the same problem only I faced. So I was reluctant to join business. So to manage the family, what I thought was I should do something. So my brother-in-law, who was a government servant again, he was working for forest department. He had a Matador van at that time. Matador was a very rare vehicle at that time. So I requested him whether he can spare that vehicle to me. He readily agreed, happily gave to me. I used it as a taxi, and I myself drove the vehicle. I go to school, college, give the attendance, and then I leave, and then I was managing to earn something to manage the family. But it clicked, in fact, because Matador van, you can accommodate more people. So for any family function, any marriages, any cinema shooting, or political parties works, so many, even police people, they all started calling me. So it was difficult for me to manage. Every day going outstation and manage. So I decided to engage one driver on commission basis. And that helped me. That time only, I had only one land phone. So when I am in house, I get more than 10 calls a day asking for a vehicle. I had only one vehicle. Then I thought of utilizing that opportunity, and I thought of sharing this information with other travel agents in Trivandrum, and with their help, I started rerouting these orders that I get to them, and they gave me 10% commission when I give this business. So that gave me a lot of money. So when I look back now, yes, again, as I said, the command, how I learned, delegation, the importance of delegation, I learned from there. By engaging a driver, I could do more things. I could attend family, I could go to college, I could manage my governmental papers, and also make more money. In fact, at the time of death, as head of the department, Kerala, my father's salary was just 1,864 rupees. Those time, 1981, I'm talking about. But that time, I started making more than 10,000 rupees. That was the income I generated. So I learned, I tasted the success of business at that time. So during this time only, 81-82 period only, Medimix was under strike, and my uncle had to come to Kerala to stay away from Chennai for some time. So he happened to visit my house also. He noticed what I do, my activities. I think he was convinced of my ability to manage business. So it was my exam time also, final year exam time. Then after that, he sent me a detailed letter how we can reopen this factory and how we can manage this to make it a successful venture. He advised me to forget about this government job and come to Chennai, or whatever business you do also forget it. But my family members were against, including my mother. She felt that, why should he go to, first of all, he doesn't know what is Madras and no language. Tamil language is not to him. He doesn't know to make soap. And how can he manage? That factory is not functioning. But my uncle convinced me. Then from 82 to 83, 1 year, frequently I went to Madras, discussed with him how to open a factory and all. Then he made me, he started a company in my name. So we registered one new company, opened a bank account. And during 1 year process, we made the background set for that. And 83, I decided to permanently move to Madras. That time it was Madras. So in 83 May, I came to Chennai. But the biggest challenge that I faced was no businessman would have faced such a situation. When I landed in Madras, I realized that time our premises were raided by CBI team. CBI raid was happening in the premises, Dr. Siddhan's house, because he was a government officer, and then some issues. Though everything was managed by his wife and all businesses were run in his wife's name, some complaints were sent, and then based on that, CBI raider. So managing or meeting CBI people, talking to them, it was a big experience for just a beginner. I was only 21 years old at that time. And of course, labor case was in the court. So to manage the labor case, a lot of such challenges initially we faced. Then we decided to open a new factory somewhere in the remote village, very far away from Chennai, and make soaps and distribute to at least some important shops. Thereby, we can avoid the shortage that has happened in the market. So we selected the Salem district. So how I used to go? I go by night train to Salem. From there, a place called Athur, which is 50 kilometers away from Salem, a remote place. I get down there, and from there I hire a bicycle. And the factory was inside, even no roads, inside 7 kilometers remote place, where till that place I use a cycle, go there and see the production. We make the soap and take it to the immediate near places, and then we see. That also helped us, in fact. Then later we started a factory in Chengalpet. All outer areas we started 2-3 factories. By the time I reached, then we could make very small units. I'm saying just a 1-bedroom house we take, and then very small way. The biggest challenge then again I faced was, as we are discussing about the story of a handmade soap. So why he preferred to continue as a handmade soap was, first of all, he didn't have money to invest, go for machineries. That was one reason. And other reason was, those days, all taxes were exempted for handmade soaps. No sale tax, no central excise. So those were good benefits. So to enjoy those benefits, we decided to continue as a handmade soap. But when you say handmade soap, it is not easy to explain. Not using any sort of power, like steam power or electric power. Every operation should be manual, including unloading of oil or any material from a truck to our tankers. We used only gravity method. We are not supposed, even the lorry people, when they use power, we were not eligible to get the exemption. So we decided everything 100% except for lighting. Rest everything was manual operation. So difficult. So it was a big challenge to scale up production. So Dr. Siddhan asked me, so say for example, if one factory was manufacturing 5,000 soaps a day, how to scale it up to 15,000? It was unbelievable. We could never imagine that we can achieve that figure. Then I invited some technical people, engineering houses, to study our operations and give me some advices how to make it, how to scale up. They studied for more than a month and gave me a report that it's impossible to scale up. And they asked me to immediately go for mechanization. But we were reluctant, because immediately the price of the product will go up if taxes are implemented. So we were not willing. So then what I did was, I discussed with the factory workers. With the help of factory workers, we explained to them how we can scale up, because they are every day they are in the floor and making soaps. They get ideas. So I invited ideas from them. Based on their ideas, we developed new machineries. And believe me, with the help of my workers, and most of them, none of them are engineering students. All of them are below 10 standard educated. With their ideas, we developed our own machineries. We set up a factory to manufacture our own machineries. And even today, we make most of the production based on the ideas given by my workers. And today we are able to make millions of soaps with those ideas. So that's the success story as far as this production scaling up issue is concerned. Then, of course, rest everything was so easy for us. Market demand was there. And another challenge was, Medimix was known as a prescription product, as a drug. We wanted to slowly change that. So from skin curing claim to skin protection, we started advertising as a skin protection soap. Then today it is called as a family soap for skin protection. So like that, we slowly changed it. But again, in the year 86, if I'm right, another big challenge we faced. Till then, licenses were not required to manufacture soap. Anybody can make soaps. No licenses were required. But suddenly government brought in some rule, and then some amendment came, and that based on that notification, licenses were required. But we were not aware of. Being a small company, we didn't have a legal department or anyone to advise us to go for these licenses. We failed to do that. So one day, drug department suddenly came to our factory, raided us. I was also present in the factory, and they said that they are going to confiscate the entire stock and going to seal the factory for not taking a drug license. Because Medimix, being an Ayurvedic soap, and since we make medicinal claims, we were supposed to take a drug license. They consider it as any other drug. So failure of taking license for a drug is a very major offense in our country. The minimum punishment is imprisonment. So that was the threat they gave to us. And again, nearly 6 months, factories were closed and we were not. So we thought that was the end of our story. But luckily, in the court, I pleaded guilty. I said, yes, we manufactured, but the only failure was paying 60 rupees to the government to take the license. You can ask any laboratory to test my soap, and if they find that some quality issue is there in my product, I'm willing to accept anything. But product quality, no complaints. The failure was only paying 60 rupees. So he, please help me, Lord, I requested. But somehow I could convince him. And what he did was, he took up the case as the last case that day and announced, his judgment was actually imprisonment till the court retires. It was a last case. And thereby he helped me. So that again, that was a big escape. And it was easy. Immediately we paid the money and we got the license and we immediately opened the factory and started manufacturing. And then afterwards, it's only success story. Then major challenges, another challenges we faced was actually the acquisition threats from multinational companies and other bigger companies. Lot of companies try to finish us or acquire our brand. That and all, because if I start talking about it, will take more time. So I'm not going in detail about how and what happened, those processes. But we succeeded those threats also. Then marketing strategies, if you ask me, our initial decision was to go to every nook and corner, every rural market. We gave priority to rural markets, and we personally go to markets. All the family members, all the top management staff, we all go to villages and all markets. We physically work in the market. We use cycle, tricycle, auto rickshaw, whatever forms of transport we used it, and ensured that product is reaching every nook and corner. In fact, I still remember the days I worked in Bombay market. I used to travel by Bombay electric trains. You know how difficult it's difficult to travel in electric trains in Mumbai. I stayed about 70 kilometers away from VT area, Ambarnath area. Morning by train, electric train, I go to VT station, pick some soaps. I personally carry the soap, and I take one local help also, some boys, to carry soap and also talk in Hindi. What I say, they clearly explain to the shopkeepers. I go to the other railway station, get down there. From there, I take east and west routes and then go to each station. Daily one station. That left side and right side of that station, only the small shops around the railway station we work. It was very tough, and language was also a barrier, and they used to abuse us, saying that you are all South Indians, we don't want your product. But somehow, slowly, we could establish our brand in Bombay also. Maharashtra is one of the best markets now for us. So that and marketing strategies, if you ask me, we cover all festivals. Anywhere, any city or any village, any festival take place, our team go there and distribute pamphlets. And we make God cards. If it is a temple or church or mosque festival, we make the picture of that God, whatever God they believe. One side the God, back side Medimix advertisement. Small size, which they can keep in pocket or purse. We distribute it. So nobody will throw it away. They immediately keep it. Or some of their family members carry. That also helped us. Then we designed a paper fan. During summertime, we distribute free paper fans everywhere. People were so happy to receive a paper fan, and then they used it. So like there's so many such techniques we used. And 92, this private television channels came in Tamil Nadu, Sun TV, Kerala, Asianet, and all. We were the first to make use of that opportunity. We made a television advertisement with a good music jingle. And to our luck, we gave entrusted this work to a new boy called Dilip. He did everything for us to make that jingle. That jingle became a hit. And that boy, Dilip, also became a hit afterwards. He is none other than Iyer. So in 92 itself, he got a film, Roja. He became very famous. His music became famous. The same time, our ad also came, composed way came. So it's all timings. So that helped us. So now we reached 50 years with such challenges of the marketing effort. If you ask me, it was a sustained effort from all our team members. all our stakeholders, all our distributors, and many people helped us. And today, what we are only with the help of such people. And with this, I'm leaving the floor to Madam. You can ask any other question, or if any questions from other viewers also, you can ask me. I will explain.
Thank you so much, sir, for talking to us and taking through your entire life's journey. After listening to you, I'm sure, just like us, our viewers are also inspired to grow while we do good things in life. We have some questions for you. Let me begin with the first one. So you spoke about the hostile takeover plans by foreign investors. You also spoke about how you try to avoid it. Can you just give us a brief about that, sir?
It's not that just investors, the competitors, multinational competitors, they wanted our brand so that they can establish well in the South Indian market. That time we were slowly getting name in the South Indian market. So I don't want to name the companies, but the strategy was actually most of the multinationals had an acquisition department at that time. There was an acquisition manager and their team. They come first, they go to market, then indirectly threaten us. Then the chairman or managing director calls me. They come in person and they present it so well in a very nice manner. And finally, they say that if you don't come to our offer, we will launch other herbal soaps or Ayurvedic soap and become your competitor, which we happily accept. And sometimes they say that if you don't accept our offer, we will try to finish your brand. In fact, they give instruction to shopkeeper because their brand actually sells more. So if they say that never allow your this particular brand posters or stickers inside your shop, if you exhibit those posters, then we will not give our product to your shop. Like that. Lot of such incidences were there, but we were very clear that I told them why we require money. They were willing to give whatever money we asked for, but we said we are here to work. We want work. So by selling our brand and then getting a lot of money, then what we do, our family members are interested to work. So that threat still continues. It's not threat I'm saying. Even today, not only multinational companies, top Indian companies are also after me. Even this month also I got some calls. So that is a part of it. But now we have grown. We are able to talk to them. We are able to convince them. We are able to present them why we are not interested for such a tie-up. There are so many companies decided to give the brand. So many companies invited them to take their 25% or 50% of the share of the company. Some companies have succeeded. Some companies have finished their brand. So many incidences are there. But as far as our group is concerned, we are not very keen. See, my other brands, I am also owning many other new brands which are also doing well. Other brands, we don't have that sentimental attachment to that. Whereas this was founded by the person who is not alive now. His wife is still alive. So we don't want to take any decisions on that brand. That's all. That's the only issue.
Thank you, sir. Medimix was a pioneer in the Ayurvedic soap segment. At that time, nobody heard about this concept of Ayurvedic soap. So you would have had so many placement issues, especially in the rural market. When the soaps are placed, the brand is not known. It would have been a great challenge. How did you strategize and position this brand, and how did you make it accessible even in the smallest markets?
I think partly I explained this, how I went to Bombay market or other rural markets.
The rural market,
but let me tell you one thing here. Medimix was not the pioneer in this Ayurveda segment. Actually, Chandrika was there as an established brand in the market at that time. Chandrika was a pure Ayurvedic soap at that time. That was the big another challenge that I faced, especially in Kerala market and all. When I go, people say that Chandrika is the best, so don't come here with your product. We are not interested. That was the challenge I received. In Karnataka market also. Karnataka also they had factories, and those people were good friends. The owners are still my good friends. So we never directly competed each other, but we planned our strategies. I rightly said that most of the companies those days, including Chandrika, didn't have a proper retail distribution network. Product was on demand. So whenever the truck comes, the retailers used to approach them or wholesalers approach them and take soaps in bulk. And from there, it gets distributed to the smaller shops. But the very first day, we decided to form a good sales team, go to the entire market. We planned based on the population of the market. We planned the weekly visit route map, and we appointed distributors who have facilities to go to these areas. Those who are having vans or auto rickshaw or tricycle, whatever it is. So we appointed such people. Then, as I explained, our marketing strategies, our publicity materials, always we gave support. So we made customer to come and ask the shopkeeper using the brand. Even the illiterates come and ask for Medimix Ayurvedic soap. Normally, people used to come and ask for soaps or soap for skin diseases. But we, with our sustained effort, we could make customers to come and ask. So customer pull happened actually. That helped us. And we were not offering any credit to the market. Right from the beginning, our policy was not to give credit. Even today, we continue that. So when I go to shops, personally, when I visit and all, they say no money with us and we don't want, we can't take 12 soaps and all. So I used to advise them, why should you take 12 soaps? You are seeing the product first time, take just 2 soaps. Those days it was just 2 rupees or 2 rupees 25 cents. Take 2 soaps, give me 5 rupees, take 2 soaps. You see whether people are taking it. If not, at least you and your wife can use it. It's a good soap, try it and then tell me next time when I come, you tell me that also worked well. Some people sold it, some people used it by themselves. They realized that it's a good soap. Then for their personal purpose, they started buying it. Then customers came, they asked it. So it was not a overnight success. It took many years for us to get these markets.
So just like how you told, it's not an overnight success, a trusted brand. So what are the steps you take to make sure that the Medimix is always remains a trusted brand, something like a trust value?
There again, nobody can start a company and overnight or within 1 year, it is impossible to make it a trusted brand. Medimix, there are so many trusted brands. Even Economic Times, when every year they announce the most trusted brands in the country. There are so many good brands, not only in soap segment, everywhere. Good banks are there now, mobile, so many companies are there. Anything can be a brand. But again, sustained effort, long effort, and all our stakeholders are happy. All our vendors, our suppliers, they are all happy. If one person say that don't supply to Medimix, you will not get payment, or their attitude is not good. If there is such comment in the market, then people lose the trust. Even our employees, all the employees are happy. They are all with us for more than 25 or 30 years with us. Even our president, who has just completed 47 years with us, this month he is getting relieved. 47 years he served in the organization. And most of my factory workers are all about 25 years of service. So that is the trust. Even customers also, we look at them. Many customers, when I meet, they say the last 25 years, 30 years, 40 years, we are using your brand. Such a loyal customers we have. That is trust. Because you watch television, you find new products coming in, you will have a tendency to try new product. Whereas Medimix customers believe that their product is the best, and that trust they are showing us. So it's not just one person's mind or anything. It's a total teams, total stakeholders. The entire team's good work only helped us to get that position.
Nice to hear that, sir. So, as we understand, AVA Group is into multiple sectors such as soaps and hygiene products under the brand of Cholayil Healthcare, curry powder and condiments under the brand of Mellam, hair care under Kaitra, power equipment rentals under MAC, Ayurvedic hospital and holistic wellnesses under the Sanjeevanam brand, to name a few. With such diverse businesses, you may be facing different legal requirements and also challenges. So, can you please share some of your experiences in dealing with them?
True. See, in India, those who start a business, right from the first day, you face problems. even those who are planning to become an entrepreneur also, I would like to tell them that it is not easy as you think when you start a business, everybody, because no department in our country call you and ask whether you need any service from our department, though they are meant for that. But they call you only to ask why you should not be prosecuted, why should not be taken any action against your company. These are the questions, or any notice what we receive is actually only threatening letters. No department. That's a style, because we pay tax, we manufacture product, we do genuine business. But everybody in the system think that they are doing a service to us, not that we do any service. So we always call them sir. We always give respect in front of them. We have to sometimes stand for a long time, even in front of a clerk to get a paper signed. I personally had all those issues. But now I have legal departments, I have people, and I do only fair business. I'm confident what I am doing. Whatever be the business I do, I'm very confident that I do the fair business. In spite of doing fair businesses, there are incidences where sometimes legal issues creep in. But I have a team to handle it. But when you are confident about the quality you maintain, the systems you follow, then you need not worry about it. So new entrepreneurs, when they come, they have to keep this in mind. It is not easy in India. I'm not talking about any particular state. In India, anywhere when you start, it is different from what business you do in Singapore, Dubai, or America. It's all totally different. Because I have this Mac equipment, power equipment business I do in Abu Dhabi actually. So I know how easy it is, and then the way they receive us, how fast when I go there for any paperwork, or every 3 years I'm supposed to do my health checkup and then renew my license and my personal visa. So easy, and every time when I go, their systems are improved, their approach is better. So that is not happening in our country. I can't blame any political party, any bureaucrats or anything. It's the system is like that. But if you learn to manage this, it is so easy. If you know how to handle it, and if you expect that, they talk only that way. The notices are always like to be that. When you receive a notice like that, you need not worry about that. Is a system. That's all. You give a proper reply and you can escape. That's all.
True, sir. So Medimix is known for its unique perfume, primarily because it's all natural too. Has your group thought of getting into the perfume segment as well? Do you think an Ayurvedic all natural perfume by a brand like yours can create a need for a natural perfume in the international perfume market?
It is possible. We thought of it, but we have not developed yet. It's very difficult. You are talking about a personal perfume spray perfume.
Yes.
Spray perfume to make, when you use only natural ingredients, it is difficult to get that note. It will not last forever. You get, say for example, now sandalwood oil, you use it, it will last for some time. You need some additives to make it give more aroma, to spread it, to linger it, to stay in your body. So you need to use some additives. Some chemicals are required. And also you need spirit to make it as a spray. You need a base like a spirit. So it is not easy, but we thought of it, but we are not prepared to launch a product now. It's difficult.
Sir, from the diverse background and diverse activities you do, how do you find the time for all these activities? We would like to know more about your work style and how do you manage your people around you? Can you speak something on that, sir?
Yes, of course. See, now I am talking to you as a person who spent more than 39 years. In fact, I told you in 82 only I first came to Madras to understand business. So from 82 onwards, I am in business. That means this is my 40th year in business, the same business. So 40 years of experience is behind me. So it is easy for me to manage. That is one side. And now even this Corona period gave me a lot of new learnings. And I could personally make a lot of changes in my personal work style, my behavior, my new learnings, my time I spend with my family members, all changed. Because maybe I would like to talk something about that. This lockdown actually helped me basically the first and most important thing is that I could spend 2 years time with 4 generations of my family. My widowed mother, my wife, my 2 daughters, their husbands and their children were with me during these 2 years. No businessman would have ever thought that they get an opportunity like that. So that gave me a lot of time to talk to my daughters, my son-in-law and all, and make them understand my vision, my company's vision, future plans. And it is now easy for me to hand over the baton to them because it gave me a lot of time. That is one part. And the other part, I decided to make some corrections. In fact, I used to do a personal assessment every 6 months. I used to do that. I used to ask, I prepare a questionnaire and ask myself, say, for example, family, if you take it, I'm a son, I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a grandfather, like that, my roles are there. Am I doing justice to those roles? I'm a neighbor, I'm a society person, I'm holding some positions in some organizations. Am I doing the right thing? Am I a good managing director or a boss to my staff or my workers? Do I need to make any changes or corrections in me? The approach, my attitude, the way I speak, or whatever it is, or punishments, what I give. I did not share this to anybody. I ask myself and I take, okay, I correct myself. And about my knowledge or my learnings, okay, I can ask myself. So always I come to know that my reading habit stopped. I used to read a lot during my college days, but not finding any time. I used to read only my drama scripts or film scripts because I make a lot of movies. So such scripts only I read, but not any classics or any important or good novels or a lot of other history books or whatever it may be. So during this time, I decided to take a proper schedule. Daily get up, 5 o'clock I get up, and work is from home only. I need not go anywhere. So 5 o'clock I get up. I finish my office work immediately. All any files or emails or WhatsApp or any instruction to my staff and all, within 45 minutes I can finish. Because then and there, since I'm taking decisions and involving no such pending work. So within 45 minutes, I finish all my office official works. Then I spend some time to read some good books. I could read more than 60 books during this period, this 2 years time. Good books that I had. I used to keep all the books, but never opened it. So those books I opened and I started reading whenever I read. Then I go for my usual morning walk and exercises, yoga, and I have a swimming pool in my house. I do swimming during summer time. So my personal thing. In fact, during this period, I reduced a lot of weight. I gained a lot of, in fact, health during this. Not only me, entire family. Even you won't believe, my mother, who is such an old person, stopped all medicines, including her BP medicines. She stopped. Doctor advised her not to take. What is the reason? We should all think about it. Because of the family atmosphere, the happiness in the family, the time spent with the family. So it's a very good example that the same thing for Mike in my case also. I do at least exercises. My mother don't do any exercise. In spite of that, her doctor advised her to stop medicines. So that is the advantage we get with the family bonding and family this thing and all. So I have a lot of other time. So as you rightly said, I'm involved in so many social activities. During the Corona lockdown, I gave my personal number to Kerala government's department for any help. The help desk number, first name was my name with my mobile number. I started getting international calls also. At least 40, 50 calls I attended. Not just attend the call, whatever be their problem with my influence, my known people abroad, I helped them whatever they wanted. Some people had medical issues, some people education issues, some people could not come to Kerala, some people was stuck in some areas. Many issues, food issues. So many people had food related, no money, no help. They are all in some remote places. So what I did was, I was not able to go out. What I told whoever calls them, immediately I asked them, you give me the local shopkeeper's number, I'll talk to him. Then I talk to the shopkeeper and ask whether people are genuine, it is there. Then I send some money, GPay, to that shop and ask them to deliver their monthly requirements. So thousands of people I could help. Personally, without anyone's help, sitting alone in the house, I was able to manage it and I helped them. So those were, and I get a lot of frantic calls. People were upset. Some people will say, I'm going to commit suicide. You have to be a good listener. You have to listen to them. Whatever they say, you accept it. Then slowly you have to counsel them, make them understand, and change their mind. I have succeeded in that areas also. I became a counselor also for such thing. Then of course my drama, cinema, practices, everything I am able to manage. And I take food on time. So all these businesses I have delegated. I take decisions. In fact, even factories all run smoothly during this period. So I call video calls. I talk to workers. I give the instruction. I see what is happening there. So easy for me. So this, with these learnings after Corona period also, I am not going to attend office and all. I have decided to work from where I am. That's all. Even if I travel also, I can complete my work. So that I implement.
So we could much relate to whatever you said right now. On an inquisitive note, so Sanjeevanam is the first of its kind of Ayurvedic hospital in Kerala. And as we can understand, Ayurvedic hospitals cater extremely well to holistic and wellness needs of general public. On the other hand, in our country, for few ailments, people are not able to afford allopathy treatments, primarily because of high cost of drugs or surgical procedures. Have you thought of any solution to such problems? Do you think through Sanjeevanam you can offer better and affordable health treatments?
That's a very interesting question. But you have to keep in mind that in business, I don't advise people to mix both service and business together. The concept of Sanjeevanam is actually to take Ayurveda brand globally. I have designed in such a way that the international people can understand Ayurveda and experience it in a different way. It is designed in such a way that for taking, so that is helping me. In fact, after 2 days, I'm going to Muscat. There, the Arab people invited me to start a Sanjeevanam, similar hospital there. They are willing to invest. They are willing to extend all the support, even licenses. They are confident of getting it. So from many countries, I'm getting such offers. That is what I wanted actually. The brand, not only Sanjeevanam brand, Ayurveda brand should reach globally. Like you said that Medimix was the first to introduce Ayurveda. And yes, Ayurveda name many countries. We are exporting to all the countries now. So they all heard about Ayurveda through our product. Now Ayurveda hospital also, that's our plan. Charity, when we see, definitely government hospitals are doing very good job actually. Free Ayurveda treatment is possible especially in Kerala, other areas also. I am willing to help them or financially support them, those who are really suffering and all that. I am continue to do, but I don't want to put that into this basket. It's very, very, very wrong decision. It is. Then the foreigners will not come to my hospital if I do that. But I know what is required. Not only Ayurveda, allopathic area also. I continue to help them. I'm supporting many such hospitals who are doing charity works. I'm supporting them. Various ailments, Ayurveda and allopathy. That I continue to do.
That's a very good point, sir. So, looking at AV Group and the way you have diversified into different areas displays your passion for many things in life, such as producing movies, playing flute as a hobby, or engaging in social welfare activities. And you are pretty successful in pulling all these together. How much percentage of your success is attributed to inborn talent, and how much to hard work and self development?
I don't know how to measure it. So, but that's what I initially mentioned. When I was a school student, I didn't have any such hobbies, or no teacher would have ever thought that I become a successful businessman or a notable person. Now they have started calling me, and sometimes recently also my school, one father, it was convent, one father called me and said that, are you the same student whom I taught in 70s? I said, I asked him, father, you tell me, are you serious? Have you ever noticed me as a student? He said, yes, I noticed you. But then why didn't you tell me at that point of time? Because I thought that I was not good. Because see, even during the school assembly time and all, when we stand in the assembly, I used to wonder how my classmates used to get so many prizes. for education, extracurricular activities, and playing, presenting drama or some presentations. I used to wonder how these people are having this thing. Now the same people who got prizes, they are all either doctors, engineers, or government positions. They come and ask me, how Anoop, you are able to perform such a good drama, so how confident you are when talking. We are not able to do it. See, so I don't know whether it was over a period I myself developed or it was an inborn talent which came out. I think acting was there in my blood, but playing flute and all, I feel that music is not there in my blood. But with very difficulty, I am learning it. I'm trying to operate an instrument. That's all I can say. That music is not there in me. Business, again, it's opportunities only. But maybe it was there. But in my family, nobody was a businessman at that point of time. So it's very difficult to measure, as you asked.
Okay, sir. Sir, Appu Vinte Satyana Veshanam. Appu in
Satyanveshanam.
Satyanam.
Satyanveshanam. Appu in search of truth.
Truth.
That's a.
That's a film produced by you, and it has won an award in the Best Feature Film category in the International Film Festival at Russia, and also won Special Jury Award at San Diego International Kids Film Festival at United States of America. Apart from being the producer of the movie, you had also acted in the movie. The story has a strong message of underlying Gandhian principles. So we want to know what inspired you to act and make such a movie, and also how has that experience added to your life?
No, I started my film production company in the year 2007. As you know, I used to be a stage actor. I continued to do my stage acting. That's my passion. In fact, if you ask me what you enjoy more, I say stage acting only I enjoy. But 2007, I started producing it. But even prior to that, watching my plays, many Malayalam directors approached me to do movie acting. But I decided to keep away because I knew that will affect my business career. If I had opted acting as my career, I would not have been reached anywhere, either business or even. I'm not sure. I'm not saying that I'm a great actor or anything. I am into various activities and I also do acting. That's all I would like to say here. But after some time, after making some successful movies, like how I entered my business, I entered film production without any background, without any support, and nobody was there to help me. I simply started film production. But to my surprise, the very first year, I got Kerala State Award for the Best Producer. The very second year, I got a national award for producing a Tamil movie as Best Producer. Third year, again, I got a State Award from Kerala. So then only I realized it is there. I don't know how I selected a movie or how, without anything, just luck only, but it helped me. Then I was more keen to make good movies. I wanted to release movies with good messages. So I selected directors and scriptwriters who come to me with good messages. So some failed, some clicked. But I'm happy that I have produced so many good movies and presented to the society. Then slowly, now, after reaching a particular level, since acting is my hobby, I decided to take up acting also, but not very keen to become a celebrity. That's why I am avoiding the commercial movies, commercially successful movies which I am producing. I am not part of it now. Some movies I acted, but I'm not very keen. So I decided to be part of good movies. People call it festival movies or award movies and all. So I make every year one festival movie. So I attend international festivals with that movie. I get awards, I get recognitions. I enjoy that. And I decided to do the main character in that movie. So for an international market, people are not bothered about who acts because they don't know our Kerala or Tamil Nadu or Kannada artists. They don't know. So they think that I am also an actor. But I get satisfaction. See, now this Appu Satyanveshanam is a story based on Gandhian principles. So I decided to convey that message to children by doing that role myself. I wanted to do it from myself. I don't want any other person to do it because I don't think I can find a person who can. who is following Gandhian principles to that extent in his life. It's difficult. He can be a good actor. So that way I decided. Then after that, 3-4 movies I did, such central characters I did with all good message. One movie with as an environmentalist, I have a good message to society to protect environment and all. So such movies I decided to act.
Sir, many of our students who are currently watching this program would like to become entrepreneurs. Sir, can you give them some guidance or some pointers for them to become entrepreneurs? What could you be some guide points which you could give would be nice.
It is not easy to advise them with one word or one sentence. It's a very difficult thing. In fact, you can even organize a session with the people, with the students who are interested to become entrepreneurs. There's a lot of issues they face, as I mentioned. But the difference I find is that, when I entered the business without any preparation. I didn't have any project report or market research papers or any dream. Whereas the present generation, they are different. They are all more knowledgeable. They have access to internet. They get information right at their fingertip, and they prepare properly before starting a business. That I'm sure. But are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But the only difference, what I find is that there is a tendency to Google it and then they get information, and then people think that it's easy to start a business. It's not always right. Better you join any organization, even if it is in a lower level. You work in an organization, understand how to manage a business. When you join and do work, you can observe what is happening in and around a business company, learn it, and also I'm talking from a FMCG manufacturer's perspective, but those who are into IT area, whatever the area, they should learn what the business is. Just Google it and then get information is not enough to start a business. So that point I would like to emphasize here. Then also you should be a good listener. You need to listen to others, especially your team members. They come with good ideas. You should be a good listener to get those ideas, and your job is to share that vision to your team and see that they are executing it properly. Initially, maybe you are the only person, you have to do it. But once you grow, you have to do this. This is from my example, I am saying, and you have to form a trusted team to run the business. And you have to be genuine, do genuine business. And if you are confident in your business, I think success is yours. This is a simple way I can present it, but a lot of questions will come, which can be answered at a later point.
Sure, sir. So at the outset, let me begin by thanking Dr. A.V. Anoop for his valuable insight into his entrepreneurial journey. Sir, your words were truly inspirational. We are sure that these experiences will guide our students in their entrepreneurial endeavors. Thank you for being kind enough and spending your time and sharing your experiences with all of us.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you all of you.
Well, that concludes the program for the day. On the behalf of the School of Commerce, Finance and Accounting, we thank each one of you who have joined us today. Looking forward for more such interactions. Thank you.